watering seeds of potential. So last week, our meditation was on living life in full bloom. And we explored how living life in full bloom really requires us to be present for all the moments of our lives, all periods of change and transition, and embrace all of the life experiences that we have, the good, the bad, and also the ones that we are indifferent to. One of the most important things in being able to live life to the fullest is also having self-compassion. People who are more self-compassionate are more likely to stick to their goals, show compassion to others, and have greater self-acceptance and just a better sense of self. When you think about it, when our minds are not racing with self-critical thoughts, we reduce the clutter in our minds, and without even realizing it, we also reduce our stress levels. Having a healthier relationship with ourselves really paves the way for a more balanced approach to life, in which we're more likely to have greater clarity and see all the things to savor, to appreciate, and to be grateful for. It also allows us to more easily identify areas that may need some attention and see where a shift may be needed, while being able to hold ourselves with kindness and less criticism. So as we continue to explore setting intentions that become the seeds of our own potential, we must also recognize that we may encounter obstacles. And some of the common obstacles that we may encounter are internal, such as resistance to change, lack of self-compassion, a harsh inner critic, the voice in our head that says we can't do it. So this would be the perfect time to bring more self-compassion to ourselves. Mindfulness really allows us to be aware of these pitfalls, and then self-compassion adds warmth and affection to our awareness and a kindness to ourselves. So you may already have identified a change that you'd like to see. We've been working on this for a while now. The theme for the month of March was about setting intentions and spring cleaning the clutter out of our minds and our lives. And so you may already have set goals and perhaps even hit a snag with your commitment. So we all encounter these moments, and we can be discouraged by them, especially if we treat ourselves harshly in the process. So just like planting seeds in a garden, when we plant seeds of our own potential, we need to water and nourish them with care, love, and understanding. When setting a goal, it's really important to nurture that goal with self-compassion, as we have a much greater success rate when we use self-compassion rather than being overly critical when the inevitable bumps in the road come up. So if we continue to water our seeds of potential with intention, purpose, and care, we can really watch them bloom and then reap the rewards of our own bounty and see the fruits of our labor through kinder eyes. So in this meditation, we're going to explore what adding the light touch of self-compassion feels like, because it's never supposed to feel like work to bring self-compassion to ourselves, and how we can water the seeds of potential in a kind and caring way. So I want to read this quote by Kim Butler. Our potential lies between what is and what could be. So we're going to move into the formal portion of our practice now. And so I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And then finding a posture that's supportive, feeling comfortable yet supported. And then either closing your eyes or softening the gaze, beginning to just take a couple of easy breaths. And just taking a moment to arrive, just allowing that sense of arriving in the space that you're in. arriving in the chair that you're sitting in, and then arriving in your own body. So arriving at your own door to your own being. And really noticing what it feels like to be sitting here and being aware of sitting here. Maybe allowing your awareness to drift to the soles of the feet, just as a way of further grounding into the moment, into the body. Or sensing the sits bones on the chair making contact. And letting that be the gateway into presence, the gateway into your own body. And perhaps now tuning into the breath. And just seeing how the breath is in this moment. Is it easy or is it labored? Making space for however it is. But just noticing your experience in this moment as you're tuning into the breath. And asking yourself, how am I in this moment? And again, not needing to change anything, just being the observer of experience, the witness to your own experience. Making room for whatever comes up, whether it's still some lingering thoughts of what had come before, or maybe some thoughts of what's going to come later. And so I invite you just to, as best as possible, let go of any of those thoughts and just allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to be here fully. And then, in the spirit of offering ourselves greater self compassion in our lives throughout our day, and now in this meditation, if it feels right, and only if it feels right, placing a hand somewhere on the body, perhaps over the heart, or on the arm, or even on the cheek, just as a warm, supportive touch. And if you've chosen to place your hand somewhere, leaning into the warmth of your own touch. Giving yourself a warm welcome into this moment, into this meditation. And if the mind wanders off, or whenever it wanders off, because it probably will, if not many times, certainly a few times, and that's perfectly okay. Then just inviting your awareness to come back to the breath, to the body, to this warm, caring touch if you're offering yourself a warm, caring touch. And then just beginning to notice the rhythm of your breathing. Noticing how the body is gently moving with each inhalation and each exhalation. This gentle rocking motion like the ebb and flow of the sea, the rise and fall of waves. Tuning into this internal rocking motion created by the breath. And then just allowing your whole body to be gently rocked back and forth by the breath. Maybe noticing particular parts of the body that are moving with each breath, whether it's the rise and fall of the belly, or perhaps the expansion of the rib cage with each inhalation, and then the deflation of the lungs on the exhalation. And just allowing yourself to be with the breath, paying attention to how easily it comes in and out of the body without you having to do anything at all. Maybe even having some gratitude for this life sustaining force. So, knowing if you've had your hand on your chest or anywhere else, feeling free to release it at any time and allowing it to rest in your lap, or keeping it where it is, whatever feels most comfortable in this moment. Just staying with that gentle rocking motion of each in breath and each out breath. One breath in, one breath out. Another breath in, and another breath out. And so now I'm going to invite you to think about a goal that you may have set, one that hasn't been particularly easy to stick to, or perhaps an attitude shift that you've been working on. Several things may come to mind, but just settling on one, choosing one that you may have a bit of struggle with. So, choosing something in the mild to moderate range for this meditation, nothing too difficult. But bringing to mind now as many details about this as you can. Maybe thinking of an instance, a particular time where you were disappointed because you just weren't sticking to a plan or a strategy that you'd put into place to reach your goal. Now, taking a moment to acknowledge that, yes, this was a moment of disappointment. This is part of life. We have many moments of disappointment or struggle. And now taking a moment to acknowledge, you know what? I'm not alone. Many other people struggle with the exact same thing. And if not the exact same thing, the content may differ, but the nature of our struggles is the same. And that's our common humanity. And so now, if you would, just think about how you felt in that moment. Were you angry with yourself, frustrated, sad, disappointed? And taking a moment now to think about how that felt in your body and where in the body did you feel it? Maybe a pit in your stomach or tightness in your chest, maybe a flushed feeling or headachy, tension in the forehead. So just calling to mind the sensations that you felt in this moment of disappointment. And perhaps now making space and just holding these feelings in your awareness. And now I'd like you to think about what you might say to a good friend, a dear friend, if they had the same disappointment. So maybe you'd say, "You got this. You can do this. Don't worry, tomorrow is another day. You'll try again." So try these phrases on for size. How does it feel to speak to yourself with kindness? Is it new, perhaps? So just taking a moment to find words that resonate with you, that you'd like to have whispered into your own ear. And maybe taking some time now to think about what you could say to yourself the next time you feel some disappointment over not reaching a goal or falling short in some perceived way. Now, also knowing that you can keep coming back to this practice and refining the words that you'd like to hear. But for now, allowing these words that come to mind be the right words of encouragement for yourself in this moment. And letting go of any striving for the perfect words. And now repeating them to yourself. You got this. I know you can do this. Whatever words resonate in this moment, feeling them land softly on this very deserving being. You. You are deserving of your own love and care and understanding. And perhaps lingering with these words for a moment and just noticing any sensations that might be coming up, physical sensations or thoughts or emotions, or maybe the mind has wandered. So just paying attention to how things are right now in this moment. And now just releasing the practice, letting go of this practice, and simply resting in your own experience, however it might be right now. I'm going to end with a poem by John O'Donohue, A Blessing. May you awaken to the mystery of being here and enter the quiet immensity of your own presence. May you have joy and peace in the temple of your senses. May you receive great encouragement when new frontiers beckon. May you respond to the call of your gift and find the courage to follow its path. May the flame of anger free you from falsity. May warmth of heart keep your presence aflame, and may anxiety never linger about you. May your outer dignity mirror an inner dignity of soul. May you take time to celebrate the quiet miracles that seek no attention. May you be consoled in the secret symmetry of your soul. And may you experience each day as a sacred gift woven around the heart of wonder. And so just gently opening your eyes and bringing your awareness back to the screen in front of you, maybe just looking around to reorient yourself or giving yourself a little bit of movement, wiggling fingers and toes, stretching your neck, whatever feels comfortable for you. And I would just like to say thank you, everyone, for your practice.